Every industry has a moment, a window where everything gets easier almost overnight. When something that used to feel hard suddenly feels simple. For copywriting, that moment is 2026. AI is exploding. Businesses need more copywriting than ever. Content creators are multiplying every second. And this literally unlocked the best time in history to start copywriting. So in this video, I'm going to show you why copywriting is entering easy mode in 2026. I'll show you the type of copywriters that are about to get replaced and the ones who are going to rise. I'll show you how to land your first client in the next 90 days as a beginner thanks to this massive opportunity, and I'll break down the best niches to make money with copywriting in 2026. And if you're wondering, who am I to tell you all of this? My name is Priyank. I've been a copywriter for more than 5 years. I've made multiple six figures writing copy for my clients, and I've helped over 700 copywriters build a real income online. So if you've been thinking about starting copywriting, listen carefully, because 2026 is the best moment in history to begin. And I'm not pulling this out of thin air. Just look at what's happening in the world. AI is completely changing the world. The creator economy is bringing in billions of dollars, and online businesses are exploding. We're living in a time where there's never been that many clients available and this few copywriters ready to serve them. 2026 is the first time in history this has ever happened. And in the next few minutes, I'll break down exactly how you can use this new easy mode to land new clients. But first, you need to understand what's driving this massive shift, because if you miss this part, nothing else in this video will make sense. So the first big shift is that AI will replace copywriters. Well, that's what people want you to think, but that's not what's happening. AI is replacing tasks, not thinking. It can research in seconds. It can outline your copy. All the stuff that used to take hours for copywriters is now done in seconds. So the only thing that's getting replaced here is poor execution. And when execution becomes commoditized, strategy becomes the rare skill. This is the shift nobody understands yet. Now, you see that curve here? That's the amount of money poured into online courses. Online education is projected to hit $500 billion in 2026. Online courses, coaching programs, school communities, they're all exploding. And on top of that, e-commerce is growing faster than ever. These two industries are the industries where the most money flows online. And all of them, every single one of them needs copywriting to grow. They all need emails, product pages, ad scripts, and right now, the demand is exploding, but the supply isn't. There are way more businesses entering the market than there are copywriters to serve them. This is why beginners, guys like you, can be winning in 2026. But before I show you how to take advantage of this, I need to be brutally honest with you. Copywriting is getting easier, but most copywriters are getting wiped out. Not all of them, just one type. One style of copywriter that AI deletes overnight. And most people watching this video are on track to become that type of copywriter without even knowing it. Which leads to the question, what type of copywriters will get replaced in 2026? Well, it's not beginners. It's not people who have zero experience. Actually, it doesn't even make a difference if you have experience or not. It's the writer-only copywriter. The one who just writes. Words, sentences, documents, deliverables. The one who does no thinking, no strategy, no understanding of funnels, offers, marketing. That person, AI already does their job faster and cheaper. Because just think about it. If your entire value comes from just typing words, AI can already do that at 100x your speed. In 2026, businesses don't want writers anymore. They want thinkers. They want strategists. They want people who understand attention, funnels, and who are copywriters. The writer-only copywriter is the one who gets replaced. And if you're a beginner today, there's a high chance you're training yourself to become exactly that. And honestly, it's not your fault. It's because of all the gurus that promise you to become a millionaire with copywriting. But don't worry, if you understand this shift now, you can avoid this trap completely. Because while the old copywriters are getting crushed, there's a new category of copywriter that AI is actually making even richer. And they're the ones who will win in 2026 and beyond. They're called the full stack copywriters. And to understand what that really means, you need to compare it with the old school copywriters. So the old school copywriter is the traditional copywriter. The client says, hey, I need 5 emails. So you write 5 emails and that's it. Nothing else is brought to the table. No strategy, no suggestions, no thinking, just words on a Google Doc. Then on the other side, you have the full stack copywriter. In that case, if the client says, we need 5 emails, to deliver 5 emails, sure, but you don't stop there. You look at their business, their funnels, their offers, their ads, their content, and you identify opportunities they didn't even see. Maybe their emails are good, but their ads suck. So you bring 5 ad scripts idea to the table. Maybe their landing page leaks conversions. You would then suggest a new angle, a new headline, a new call to action. You're not just executing anymore. You're bringing strategy. That's what I call full stack copywriting. And that's way more valuable than just writing. Because in business, the one who execute always get paid less than the ones who think. That's why clients pay them more. That's why they get more opportunities. And that's why AI increases their value instead of replacing them. Let me show you an example. This is me with one of my clients, Mohammed. He's crushing it in the speed reading niche. Before working together, he already had a copywriter. Someone who wrote solid emails and scripts. Nothing wrong with that. But when I reached out, I didn't pitch myself as another copywriter. I positioned myself as someone who could improve the whole machine. Like, I didn't just offer emails. I showed him the gaps in his funnel, new angles he could test, new scripts he could run, new ways to increase conversions, and here's what happened. He ended up hiring me, although he already had a full-time copywriter. He didn't replace the old copywriter because he was bad. He replaced him because the job description just evolved. In that case, he didn't need a writer. He needed a full-stack copywriter. And that's why he ended up hiring me for twice what he was paying before. The reason I got this client had nothing to do with writing better. It was about seeing the whole picture. And right now, the copywriters who can do that are the ones clients chase and pay twice, 3 times, sometimes even 10 times more. The problem is almost nobody knows how to start. And if you skip this next part, you'll fall into the same trap every beginner falls into, and you'll get ignored by clients completely. So here's what you do first. You begin with one thing. The first step is to find your niche and the problem you're gonna solve. Because here's the truth. If you try to help everyone, you end up helping no one. Think about it for a second. Let's say you wake up tomorrow with a sharp pain in the knee. It hurts so much you can barely walk. Now, be honest. Would you rather go to a general doctor who just treats everything? Or a specialist who only treats knee injuries for athletes under 30? Bro, honestly, you wouldn't even think twice. You'd go to the specialist every single time. Why? Because specialists feel safer and you assume they know your problem better than anyone else. Clients think the exact same way. So if you position yourself as just a copywriter, nobody knows who you help. Nobody sees you as a solution to a specific problem. Nobody remembers you. But if you're the copywriter who specifically helps fitness creators or business coaches or dating coaches or e-commerce brand owners, then suddenly you're not invisible anymore. You're relevant. And you're specific. So how do you pick your niche? Here's the good news. You don't choose it manually. You let AI help you choose it faster. Because the best niche is the intersection of something you're interested in, something where money flows, and something where there's opportunity. And AI can help you pinpoint that fast. You can just use this ChatGPT prompt I have that will help you do that. And I'll leave the link in the description down below so you can just copy and paste it. You're a business strategist and positioning expert for copywriters. Your job is to help me pick the most profitable niche for me in 2026. Before giving me a niche, ask me 10 questions about my interests, my past experiences, the industries I enjoy, the skills I already have, and the type of clients I'd feel comfortable working with. Then, based on my answers, give me 3 niche options with the ideal client, their biggest pain points, how much money flows in that niche, how easy it is to find clients, and the exact problems I can help them solve with copywriting. This is stupidly powerful, and it works even if you have 0 experience. Alright, so now you have your niche. But that's not enough. You need to identify the biggest pain point inside that niche. This is the problem your client needs solved immediately. For example, here are some of the most common problems for businesses this year. A content creator losing money on ads, a coach who has no email list, an info product business with a broken funnel, an e-commerce store that sends 0 emails to their list. And when you solve these bleeding neck problems, clients say yes a lot faster. So now you have the niche and the problem you're going to solve for them. But here's the part most beginners screw up. They pick the wrong skill to start with. Let me tell you don't need to master everything at once. You just need one copywriting skill that gets clients results extremely fast. And that is step 2 of this framework. Learn email copywriting. It's the fundamental that unlocks the easy mode for copywriting in 2026. And to do that, you don't need months, you don't need a course, and you don't need talent. You just need 14 focus days. Here's the structure I use to learn email copywriting fast. The first thing to do is to pick a top dog in the industry and study their emails. So just find a creator or a brand who's absolutely crushing it in your niche. Subscribe to their emails, read everything, study the structure, the angles, the hooks, because if they're making money, their emails are doing something right. Steal the patterns and absorb the psychology. By the way, guys, you can also read my emails. I have this private newsletter where I share a ton of value about copywriting. You'll just find the link in the description box down below. Then the second thing to do is to rewrite what you study. This is where you actually learn. Take the best emails you'll find and rewrite them in your own words. This is how your brain absorbs structure, pacing, rhythm, and persuasion. It will allow you to learn 10 times faster. The third habit is to write 1 hour a day. This is the boring part everyone skips. 1 hour every single day for 14 days. And the longer you can keep up with this habit, the better you'll become. Email copywriting is a repetition skill. You get good fast if you commit to consistency. And that's all it takes to learn email copywriting fast. Just study what works, rewrite it, and do it every single day. After 2 weeks, you'll be better than 90% of beginners, and you'll have real samples you can show to clients. Now that you have built the skill, it's time to find people who will actually pay you. Step 3 of the process is to find your first client in the next 90 days. So the fastest way to get your first clients in 2026 is to create a list of 100 ideal clients. Just 100 people, could be creators, coaches, founders, e-com brands inside your niche that you'd actually like to help. Now this is really important. Don't go after the big ones. Creators with more than 1 million followers get hundreds of DMs a day, but the ones with 5,000 to 10,000 followers, they're accessible, they're growing, they have real problems, and they need your help. Once you have that list, we can move on to step 4. Step 4 is the outreach. In my experience, the best way to find clients this year is Instagram video DMs. The concept is simple. So you send a personalized message to the creator, you record yourself in a 30 to 50 second video where you say something relevant to their content just to let them know you've done your homework. You introduce yourself, you say you notice something leaking in their funnel or their emails, you offer them to fix it for free by writing copy for them in exchange for a testimonial, and you end it with a small call to action where you offer them to hop on a quick call with you. Commit yourself to sending at least 3 DMs per day minimum. Step 5 of the process is the free trial. If you're a beginner, the best way to land a client is to offer a free trial. An entire week where you get to work in their business, get them results, and build a relationship with them. For example, you could write an entire week worth of emails for them. The idea is to offer something that actually moves the needle. When you deliver it, they think, damn, this person gets it. And that's when you transition into step 6, your first real offer. After you've done that free trial, it's pretty simple to turn that into a paying client. So here's how it goes. You just send an offer to your client, something along the lines of, if you want, I can take over your email system, fix your funnel, and bring consistency to your whole acquisition. My full stack package is $3,000 a month while I'm building my portfolio. This offer is perfect for beginners because it's affordable for clients, it's recurring, it builds your experience, it builds your case studies, and it's a lot easier to sell because that client already had a taste of what you can do for them since you just did a free trial. So they're gonna think, wow, if he did that in just 7 days for free, I bet what he can do for us within a month of paid work would be fire. And that's how beginners will land clients in 2026. Not by begging, not by sending hundreds of cold emails, but by showing value, solving a real problem, and offering a simple full stack package that businesses actually need. Guys, if you're hesitating or considering to start copywriting, then honestly, don't put pressure on yourself and just do it. 5 years ago, I was watching YouTube videos and not taking action. Just watching, dreaming, but never actually doing. And once I decided to take action, it only took me 1 month to go from $0 to $4,000 a month. And now, my life has completely changed. I get to travel, make a pretty good living with copywriting, and working for some big 8-figure businesses. But my results are not typical. Usually, it takes a lot more time for beginners to get results. But look at my student Alada. She's just 23 years old, and when we first met, she used to work long hours in her parents' shop just to help the family out. She had bought a copywriting course, but she was struggling to land clients and was making zero money with copywriting. So I took her under my wing, and she literally applied everything I shared in this video. Now, a year later, she just hit her first $20,000 a month as a full stack copywriter. And last summer, she just paid an entire trip to Switzerland to her entire family. Her life has completely changed. But let's break this back to you for a second. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet. Maybe you've never built a business. Maybe your life doesn't look like the success stories you see online. And that's okay, because none of that disqualifies you. If anything, it makes your story even better. Here's what actually matters. You're here, you're learning, you're searching, you're hungry. And whether you realize it or not, you're living in a moment where one decision can completely change the rest of your life. A moment where people from every background all have the same opportunity with nothing more than a laptop, the internet, and a willingness to try. You don't need to be good. You don't need credentials. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need willingness and consistency. Because this era we're stepping into with AI and copywriting, it's leveling the playfield like never before. And you're not behind, you're not late, you're not missing anything. In fact, you're early, and that should fire you up. You have tools people 20 years ago would have cried for. You have opportunities your parents never had. You have access to skills that can literally change your income in a matter of months. And the crazy thing is that you can do this. If you show up, if you put in the reps, if you commit to getting just a little better every single day, you're gonna shock yourself with what you're capable of. So don't overthink, don't wait for the planets to align, don't wait to feel ready. Start, learn, improve, move. Copywriting is on easy mode right now. Tools are here, the demand is here, the timing is perfect, but the real opportunity, it's you deciding to bet on yourself, maybe for the first time in your life. And if you felt something during this video, if a part of you is whispering, damn, I could actually do this, that's not an accident. That's your signal. So take a breath, stand up straight, and go for it. You've got everything you need. Now go build the version of you you've been thinking about.